Cohen. So this is the first postcard I'm going to do. I hope I can record more, so that will be a good way to keep in touch with you, to continue these videos on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and to have a constant communication with you. So for today I have chosen 3 different topics to talk about, and the first one is going to be a recommendation for you. If you're a learner, if you're one of my pupils, I'm sure you want to practice. So one of the most common problems for you to practice is listening. So you always ask me like tips to practice at home, things that you can do better, and one of the things that you always tell me that you do and that you like doing is listening to music in English, American music, British music, and I think that's an amazing way to learn and practice. So some of the tips that I could give you is not only listening to music, but trying to find the lyrics on the internet, try to memorize the lyrics, try to sing it, because I think if you only listen to the music, finally you end up by maybe learning the lyrics, but you don't really know what you're saying, like you don't really know the meaning of everything and the sense of the words. And I think it's important if you stop and think and concentrate a little bit about it, because otherwise maybe it's like you can hear the music but not listen to it, you know. So one of the resources I love using is a webpage called Lyrics Training. I'm writing here, okay. So I think it's a very good and cool way to practice listening with music. So this webpage is similar to the listenings that you did in the high school, like when you have your textbook at the end of the unit, you used to have like the lyrics of the song with some blanks, and you have to listen to the song and complete with the words that you have got written. So I think it's very entertaining, and it's a very good way to do it. You have a great range of songs in this webpage. Like, I don't know, you can find any song from any artist, and you can repeat the exercise as many times as you want, because they change the blanks every time you repeat it. So I think it's very cool and very exciting, and I think it's a good way for teenagers, for kids. I usually do it with kids at school, like when they are 10, 11, 12 years old. But I got this recommendation from another teacher in one of the schools I've been working, so it was like kind of 4 years ago, and I've been using it, and like sometimes I try to practice by myself at home, like the most difficult songs. The good thing about this web page too is that you can choose difficulty of the songs. Like you have all the songs divided in 3 categories, like they are green, orange and red, depending on the difficulty. So as you suppose, green are the easiest and red are the most difficult ones. And you can choose even the accent, because there are some songs that are British, English, Australian, American, everything. So I think it's quite interesting to try to see the difference between all of them. So I recommend you to try to make different songs and accents. And then when you choose a song, when you select it, you can choose the level of difficulty too. Like if it's a difficult song, you can do it like in an easy way, and then it's like you can progress more, like half of the song or the whole song, and you have to write all the lyrics. And it's very challenging, and at the end you can see like the classification of everybody who's doing this, and you can see where are they from, so you can have like a little competition between countries. So that's really cool, really interesting. I think that I've got it here. I can show you like the page so you can see it better. So that would be the web page you see, and here you have like some of the top trends at the moment, so you can practice with them. They are the most popular ones. The second thing I wanted to talk about was about yesterday. So today is 9th of March, yesterday was the 8th. That means that it was Women's Day all around the world, and it was a very important day. And I think we all need to stop and to think about what are we celebrating. So it is very important to reach equality between men and women. I know it's like really difficult because life is not fair, the world is not fair, and we will always have differences between men and women in society. But what we have to try is that women won't be always the ones that have more difficulties. Because I know that sometimes men say that we have other types of difficulties in other kind of things, but women have definitely more difficulties than us. So I think we should work together on that. So yesterday for my class with the kids, I chose to talk about some of the most important women in the world, like in the history. Some of them knew these women, not all of them, of course. So we were talking about Frida Kahlo, the Mexican artist, Amelia Earhart, Audrey Hepburn, and Marie Curie. And I gave them the biography of all of them, so they had to read it, and finally they had to make like a big poster with a picture of her, and they had to choose like the 10 most important facts about these women. So I think it could be an interesting exercise for you to like writing one, for example. So it would be like kind of reading into writing, yes. So I'm going to give you 4 links at the description of the video with a biography of these 4 women. So I think that would be a great idea if you can choose one of them or the 4 of them, and like you can write an article about their lives, thinking about what are the top 10 ideas about these women, and see how they broke barriers and in a different time of the history, because now it's like it looks very easy for women to do everything because they are everywhere, and like in some aspects like in the university or at school you see more women than men actually, but it hasn't been always like this. So it is very important that we have a very important pilot, a very important painter or a scientist, and like they broke the mentality, they did something different, and that's wonderful. Or for example, Audrey Hepburn, like she's an icon of glamour, fashion and everything, but if you know the biography of her, she was not only the main character of Breakfast at Tiffany's, and she did a lot of things to look after people, like in Africa or in the Second World War. So I think the lives are great and very interesting, and we can learn a lot of things from them. And well, and to finish, I wanted to talk about the third point. So this week, you know that I'm studying art in the mornings, and I'm in an art school here in my town, and this week we have had like some special days. So important artists, illustrators, architects came to our school to tell us about their job, and I think it's a great idea for all the students because you can get more motivated, you can listen to other stories about how real life is when you finish your studies, and I think that's marvelous. So yesterday we had a conference by Susana Blasco. She's a Spanish artist. Now she's based in Bilbao, and she came to tell us about her job. So she's not really an illustrator because she's not drawing. So she's kind of a graphic designer mixed with a collage artist. So she takes pictures, she cuts small pieces and put them together to make a new thing, and that was brilliant. And the most important thing for me was when she was talking about her life, because she told us that it's never late to start something new. Like she started doing something very different. She studied economy at university, but finally she didn't work in that. So she was telling that if you really like something, you need to start doing things on it, and if you work a lot and you try to get to the place that you want, I mean, it's not easy at all. You will have to work a lot and you will have to go through a lot of difficulties, but you can get it. Like, you don't really need to be in a place where you don't want to be, because it's like very boring to spend the rest of your life doing something that you don't really like to do. And for me that was marvelous, because I started studying art like a little bit late, like not like the rest of the people in my class, like I'm the oldest. And sometimes we think that now it's very late to start doing other things. It's like, oh, I'm 35, I'm 40, and I would like to study, but I'm too old and I don't feel comfortable. I think it's never too late to start a new job, to start a new project, and to continue learning things in life. So that message was like very important and motivating for me yesterday, and I want you to have a look on her profile. Like, I'm going to show you. Her Instagram user is Descalza. Okay, Susana Blasco. So this is her. I don't know if you're going to see. No, here maybe. Okay, I think that you can see everything. Sorry. Yeah, so she's got like a lot of great things, and she's done like some covers for CDs. You see the collage. She's great, so I recommend you to follow her and see her work. It's amazing. So that's all for today. I hope that you like the things that I told you, and like you follow the profiles and the instructions and the web page I told you, and that you do the exercises. So for me the most important thing is that you can learn something from this video, that you can practice a little bit of listening to me, although my accent is not perfect, and that you can practice writing, and you can do a little bit of English every day. That's like the most important thing. So everything counts. Everything that you do every day, even if it's only for 2 minutes, counts. Like, if you never stop doing things, you will get to the place that where you want to reach. So that's the important thing in life, in your job, and of course with English too. So thank you very much for watching this video. Remember, you can subscribe to my channel and you will see all the videos that I upload. Remember, you can give us your comments, your questions. Follow us on Instagram, that is English with Cohen, and join our Facebook group, English with Cohen. So thank you very much for coming here, and see you on the next video. Bye!